know what companies really want. Shortcut the process of paying their dues and get to manager position or management position in a few years rather than waiting for several years. You see, there is this thinking that you have to climb through the ranks. So they talk about, say maybe an executive director, you are looking at, that is going to take another maybe 15, 20 years. But you see, what most people don't understand or don't realize is that job requirements are negotiable. Job requirements are negotiable. What do I mean by that? If you look at a typical advertisement for a job, they can say X number of years working experience, a master's degree is a must. Things like that. But that is what they are looking for. They are saying that if you don't have these positions, don't even apply. But I can tell you that you can subvert some of that. For example, some of when I began to get management jobs, I didn't even have a master's degree at the time, which was a sine qua non, which was net. I mean, one of the places I worked, it was a big battle, where those who were like my bosses, because of what I was doing, even though I was junior to them, I had more perks than they had. I didn't have as much qualifications as they had. But because of the way I packaged myself, my job function was not even more important than what they were doing. I didn't have the qualification. So we are going to look at how you can, you can do all that one. There is something that most people don't do, which is accompanying their CV with a cover letter. They don't accompany their CVs with a cover letter. One way you can set yourself from the pack, one way you can distinguish yourself is to accompany your CV with a cover letter. Now, what is the purpose of the cover letter? It's a great cover letter will focus on the desired position that you are looking for. And you can use that to demonstrate your value to the company you want to work for. Now, you don't want to focus on what the company will do for you. You also want to focus on what you are bringing into the company. Because at the end of the day, the person wants to know how you can be an asset to them, not why the job will benefit you personally. Now, I have brought here a copy of a cover letter, which if you can just pass around, you will see what I mean by cover letter. You can just, no, they can scan through it. I mean, you can scan through it because it's the content that makes it important. You can scan through. Now, going to the CV properly now. The next slide. Employers usually make a split-second decision about whether to contact you when they first see your CV. So it is important, very, very important, that you create a resume or a CV that makes a great first impression. On the other side, I also have a copy of which I will equally pass around as well too. But maybe not now, so you can listen to me. This is what I have on that side. It's what I call a professional CV. The good thing about what a CV can do for you is that it's the part of the job selection process where you have absolutely 100% control, because you can determine exactly how you want to look before the employer. As they say, you have only one opportunity to make a first impression, and that is what your CV does for you. It gives you the opportunity to impress your prospective employer. So if you have a CV, the purpose of the CV is to get you a job interview. Please let us understand, if the CV doesn't get you a job, no. I mean, in rare cases it can, if the prospective employer just feels that, look, from this CV, I mean, everything that I want is here. You know, believing that, I mean, you have been factual about it. But if it is not getting you that interview, it is probably not fulfilling its purpose, which means there is something wrong with it. Your CV is the key to getting you your dream job. It is crucial that it has a global outlook. Like they say, the world is becoming a very, very, small village right now. So what you leave out of the CV is just as important as what you put inside of it. Social media is becoming an increasingly important part of your job search. So your CV should be such that it can get you an international job. Unless, of course, you are happy to be a local champion. You're happy to be a local champion, fine. But your CV should be such that, I think you can go to the next slide now, please. Your CV should be such that anywhere in the world, they can call you. But if you don't have the plans, to work outside, so don't worry. By the grace of God, Apostle has commanded that we should have a projector tomorrow. So if we have a proper projector, then we can see. Yes, exactly. So I mean, exactly. From here we can just, Sorry about that. So you should be thinking. I mean, if I see a job opportunity tomorrow in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, in India, in Dubai, I mean, if I send this CV, will it fly? Now, CV is the acronym for curriculum vitae, a Latin word meaning the biographical sketch or brief account of the course of one's life or one's career. Note that the word is brief. So it is very crucial that you include only very important aspects of the history that is relevant to the sort of job you are looking for. So before you can come out with a very, very good CV, the first thing you need to do is to determine your job search objective. Your job search objective. So once you have determined that, then you can begin to structure your CV around that objective. And let me quickly say here now that it is possible. There is nothing, it is not a crime if you have more than one CV. It's not a crime. Because quite a number of us don't go through career counseling. We jump from job to job. Because we have not, first of all, decided this is where I want to pursue a career path. Because we've not decided that as well too. So they are calling for a job in an hospital tomorrow, you are there. They are calling for a telco, you are there. They are calling for, you are just everywhere. Now, it is possible to have some skill sets that are applicable to particular kinds of jobs. Now, if you are the sort who's blessed with several skill sets, then it is possible, to hone those skills in particular jobs. Please, there will be time for questions. If for some reason I seem to have lost you, please just take a note of what you don't understand, and then you will ask me. So it is possible to have, CVs that will suit various, and we will look at how you can do that later on. Now, if I go to the next slide, I want to talk about, yeah, okay, it's already, that's the slide. General tips, please. This is very, 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 very key. While taking notes, please listen as well too, because there are things I will mention that are not on the, on the screen. Now, it is very, very important that you lead with your strengths. Things that strongly support your job search objective. Things that strongly support your job search objective. For example, this CV that I have here, I will come to that later on. After writing what we normally call my personal statement or my career profile, I have I have core competencies. There I said core competencies include solution selling strategies, organizational leadership, high impact sales presentation, team building, and so on and so forth. I will still pass this around as well so you can see it. So it is very, very important that those are the things that jump out. That is why if you have a personal profile as the first thing in your CV, I will talk about formats later on. If you have a personal profile, that is exactly what your prospective employer wants to see first. If you blow it there, it just pushes it aside. So you lead with your strengths, things that will support what job or that role that you're applying for. Then it is important that you use action words when you're now describing things that you did. Because those kind of words, they cause your CV to pop up. Let your sentences begin, with words that are, in the active verb. Prepared or prepare, develop, monitor, such words. That's what will catch the interviewer's attention. Then, if you go to the next slide, the first thing I said is that numbers and percentages. Next slide. They stand out in the body of your CV. For example, you just don't say, in the last place you worked, that I increased sales. No. I increased sales by X percentage. So, let those numbers stand out. Or covered sales territory of X number of promises. Let numbers, let figures, something quantifiable. Let them say that. So it's very, very, very important. You will see that also when for example, there was one place where I began to talk in terms of monetary, figures. And I talked about somewhere here resulting in 20% revenue increase. They can quantify it. And when you do that one, you also show your prospective employer that you know what you are doing. Then the next point there, you need to know how to use buzzwords. Now, what do we mean by buzzwords? Buzzwords are, the lingua franca, if you like, of any particular field. For example, if you were in an aircraft going to land and you are describing your, you will say, when we're coming down, the pilot began to come down. The tires of the plane came out, and then, we ran on the runway. But if somebody in aviation was going to say that one, he wouldn't describe it like that. He would say, when we, he says by the time we are approaching minimums, the landing gears came out. I mean, he would be hearing such things like that. The pilot has extended the flaps. All those are, buzzwords with the aviation industry. Similarly, in my own field, I could be talking about things like market segmentation, competitive advantage, brand awareness. Those are the things that you will be seeing in the course of my own CV. Then the pastor talking about his own CV too, talking about casting out demons. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So there are there are words, there are vocabularies that relate to particular industries. You know, when lawyers are talking, you know they are talking. When and so on and so forth. So it is very, 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 very key. So that way you distinguish yourself. That way you let them know that yes, this particular person is competent. He knows what he is doing. You are showing your competence in that field. You are showing your understanding in that field. Then it is also very, very important too in your CV to show who you know. What do I mean by that? For example, if in the course of you, let's say you are a secretary, you just don't say, you know, I worked in Safaricom as secretary, I was taking notes. No. Reported to the CEO. Reported to the executive director marketing. You know what that does for you? It makes the person who is reading your CV also know how important you are. Because you know that this is not just a small person. For you to work with that kind of a high profile person, there's some stuff in you. So it's also important to include who you know. When I mean who you know now, you don't have to mention the person's name there. You know, yes, the office. The office. Then, I'm talking about general tips now. Then use bullet points. Because the idea is to leave enough spaces to make it reader friendly. Then use, your font shouldn't be so small. Generally, it's advised that you use between 10, 11 points. Maximum 12 points. And then don't begin to use some of all the Arial, Roman type, Garamond, but something that is user friendly. Then please, no matter how many years you have worked, your CV must never exceed 3 pages. If you can make it 2 pages, fine. I have worked, I graduated, in fact, I began to work from the year I graduated, I began, to work. That was 1985. My CV is no more than 3 pages. I'll pass it around for you to see. So, anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. So you see, when it is like that, it helps the person who is looking at it to just scan it quickly and, he picks out what he or she wants. Then, please use high quality paper. Very high quality paper. This one is on Concro paper, not just in regular. This is Concro. I will pass it around for you to see. High quality paper, preferably cream color, vellum, or white. And then never fold your CV. Never fold it. Never, if you must post it, use an A4 size or A5 size envelope and put it like that. Because your CV is the first impression they are going to have about your kind of person. Have not seen you. Then please don't print on both sides of the paper. Print on only one side of the paper. Then please cross-check your spellings. Make it as error-free as much as possible. You want to come and tell me that you are a good marketing person, and you can't even spell the word marketing right. The R is missing. Already, I just, this fellow is not, it shows how careful you are. It shows how painstaking you are. So if possible, use a spell checker from your laptop. Make sure it's go over it. Give it to somebody else to go over for you. Because there's a way when you have written something, you seem to develop a blind spot to the mistakes. Because, in your mind, this is what is supposed to be there. Because spelling errors attract a negative attention. So make it neat, and then please have an electronic copy. So that if they say, please bring your CV, you are not going to say, hey, I don't have a copy here. From your flash drive, you are printing one. Use wide margins, leave plenty of spaces, avoid excessive use. of bolded texts and underlining. Then capital letters must be used sparingly as well too. But in your using it, make sure you are consistent. Then I've said that you should play what we call the match game. Match game. If you are sending in your CV, for example, for a particular position that you saw advertised, either online or somewhere, you are encouraged to pick some of the keywords listed on that in that advert, so that your CV meets the requirement to the prospective job you are looking for. You know, I have said that it is not wise to have one CV. This is my standard CV. Oh, I'm looking for a job. Because when people come to me and say they are looking for a job, the first thing I ask them is, what kind of organization do you want to work in? Then when they now tell me, recently a friend sent the CV, I looked at it and said, look, please, this one will not fly. Even me that you are giving it to, I would be ashamed to hand this thing over to an employee, a prospective employer, say, please employ. I can't even do it. It won't fly. It won't fly. You know. So it's always important, if you have seen that, so from time to time, tweak your CV to suit what you are looking for. Then now, the format. Like I said, truth is there are various kinds of, CVs. There's what you call the professional CV. There's what you call the functional CV. Functional CV, for example, we only highlight jobs, opportunities, things you did that are function specific. So if you worked in, if you are looking for a job of a brand manager, for example, and you worked in, or you are looking for a job in, let's say, Kenya Airways or Ethiopian Airways, now you have worked before. Thank you, sir. You have worked before in Safaricom as a marketing person, and part of what you did was brand development, along with several other things. Now, in this new place you are going, you want to highlight jobs you did where brand building, brand development was the main thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, that's a function-specific CV. So when it comes to getting your dream job, your CV is paramount. Get it right, and you will have an interview in no time. But get it wrong, and you may face rejection after rejection. There are various types of CV, but all of them, whichever type you choose, they follow a similar structure. And that is what, I'm going to go into now. Your CV is a personal marketing document used to sell yourself to a prospective employer. It should highlight why you are the best person for the job. If it is not doing that, then it is not fulfilling its purpose. So like I said, whether it's a functional CV or whatever type of CV you choose to do, every CV must include the following: your name, professional title, and contact details. Contact details. When it comes to your contact details, your email address and phone number are very, very, very essential. And if you are on a professional social media site like LinkedIn, it is good to include that as well, but include it even if it is, if and only if it is up to date. So it's important to have your email address that you can be contacted with, your phone numbers that you can be reached on. Yes, physical address sometimes, but that is not necessary. But it's good to do that. Now I'm going to pass this round You know, I wish I could have made copies, but anyway, no problem. I'm going to pass this round. So as I'm, talking, you can see why the projector I would have put that up. Okay, good. I came with another copy. So I'll leave this copy, This is white, that is cream. So from what you see there, the top, the very top. Sorry, can I disturb you guys a little bit? Yeah? Sorry, can you just come close to each other? I mean, you can. People on this side, please just come close to each other so you can look at that one as I'm, talking. Yeah, there's a copy there. Awesome, good. Please, sorry, I'm, Yeah, so what you see on the top is is what I call the, name column. Please, one mistake you must not make. Don't do a CV and just write CV on the top. No. Let your name, make it like a letter-headed paper. Then the next thing you want to do is your personal profile or statement, which is also known as your career objective or professional profile. Can somebody read what you have, under the personal profile for me there? I want to be sure that, you know what I'm calling personal profile now. Yes. Yes. Can somebody just read for me? Let me be sure that it's, You want to begin? Exactly, yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway, that is the personal profile or the career objective or the professional profile. This is usually a short paragraph that should be just underneath your name and contact detail. It is important because it should give the prospective employer an overview of who you are, what you are all about. Now, I want to encourage again, please tailor your profile to every job you apply for, highlighting specific qualities that match the role you are applying for. Now, if it is not answering these questions, then it is not the right one. It should answer who you are. Who are you? What can you offer the company? What are your career goals? What can you offer the company? Somebody reading that one, where I say, okay, man, this is a person who is into selling. High profile sales. Not just, not just somebody who wants to sell, No. You understand? So that is very, very key. Extremely, very, very key. Then, your employment history session. Then, sorry, if you notice, under that one, the next thing I did was the core competencies. Now, by the time any prospective employer sees those things, he's not likely even going to go through the rest. We put it aside, yes, okay, let us consider this guy. They will go through, take the ones you want to consider. Then they now begin to go one by one, more in detail. They would have weeded out over 90%. So if your career objective does not fly, no matter how good you are, like we say in marketing, if you don't advertise yourself, it's like if this place, all the lights were off now, having a good product which you don't market well, it's like winking in the dark. You understand? If you wink in the dark, only you know what you are doing. Nobody else knows. You understand? So if you don't, if you don't sell yourself, it's like winking in dark. Oh, but I'm good. I did this. Okay, you know it. But you've got to let them know that you can do it. That you are, you are the best fit for this position. Are you still here? So very, 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 very key that the very first, paragraph is, that's what will make you. In case I forget, remind me when I'm talking about, because what I want to do today is to quickly, because I know we don't have much time in the course of the week. So I want to quickly see I can rush this CV one with interview. Because ideally I should handle them separately, but I will just I can quickly rush them together so that, we can. So remind me to talk about elevator speech when we come to that, in case I forget. Now, the next thing I want to include is your experience or employment history. Your employment history section gives a chance to outline your previous jobs, internships, and work experience. Now, this is usually done in chronological, reverse order. In other words, the last current job you had is what comes up, and then it goes down like that. Now, you see, why is this important? What you have done in the past is an indication of what you are able to do. So what you put in that place is very, very important. It's not just enough to say, oh, I worked in a Safaricom. I worked with British Airways. Please state your job title, the dates you worked, and a line that summarizes the role. In fact, what I have done there is I have also, included what organization does, so that the person will know that, look, the organization I worked is not a mushroom organization. I remember I in one of these organizations, I talked about the kind of revenues they used to turn over. That I was managing. So it's a good thing to have a brief too about what the organization does. Then you now bullet point your key responsibilities, your skills, and then most importantly, your achievement. In fact, in some positions, you don't even need to say, keeping the books, doing the. Just state what you achieved in that place. That's all. That's all. I think that is done in one of the telecom companies there. I think RTB Telecom also, if you look at it, all that we have there is just what one achieved. Not, I wasn't, That is very, 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 very key. Because your skills, your achievement, talk about them in powerful verbs, using figures, like I said before, to support each clip. And, to showcase your impact. That you are not just one of those people who, yes, you are not occupying space. There was one place a telecom company. I am a marketing person, sales and marketing person, but a bulk of my working years, I worked in the telecom sector. And yes, this is why I have to remind us again. If you are working like in an engineering firm, a law firm, you are not a lawyer. You are maybe a secretary, you are maybe a marketing person. Please, it is important that you understand the technical part of the job you are about to apply for, or where you are working. For example, as a marketing person, I got one job to handle, in a telecom company, to handle a very, very technical, very, very technical service. Not the type you even offered to end users. You offer them to bulk buyers, banks, other telecom companies, IT companies, and so on and so forth. I was talking to the head of engineering, and the man asked me, no, and then he asked me where I studied my engineering. I said, I'm not an engineer. He said, no, you are lying, sir. I say, sir, I am not an engineer. I said, I'm a market. He says, for real? Now, I want to illustrate what I said before about being able to negotiate, certain job specifications. When that job was advertised, they were looking for, I'm trying to remember the exact word they use now, but it was like somebody's into engineering and a salesperson. Now, I have never entered an engineering class in all of my life. Never. So, but because of the way I packaged myself, I was considered for the role. And they went ahead to take me to the interview because I've done my research, done everything, and I have studied, I have learned it. I began to talk about, engineering equations for a GSM long distance. And they were like, what? How did you know all this? You learn. It is important. So please, the technical nitty-gritty of wherever you are working, very, very important. Don't say, no, it's not my job, I'm not interested. No. Then you cannot occupy the top seat. So you cannot. Forget it. Forget it. I mean, you should have an idea. I usually tell my team members then, because we're into marketing and sales, that your internal customers are just as important, if not more important, than even your external customers. Who are your internal customers? Other departments. Know what they are doing. Have an idea of what they are doing. Don't say, I'm not in accounts. You don't know anything about, balancing the books. You must. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be a guru, an expert in everything, but have a smattering knowledge of how the procedures work in other units. Those are the people that make it to the top. You talk accounts, yes, okay. I mean, because if they bring a balance sheet, you should be able to understand what is in it. If they are talking customer service, you should be able to understand what is in it. If they're talking about, procedures and policies of the HR, you should be able to have an idea. Those are the people that make it to the top. Not when you're just, skewed to only that, no, I'm a salesman, that's all that concerns me. No, it's much more than that. Are you still here? Then after the career employment history, then the next thing you want to have is your education and your qualifications. Then let me just quickly say here again that, anyway, I will talk about that later on when I talk about it. It's not everything you put in your CV. I will talk about that then. If you notice what I have done there, I mean, there are some jobs that I didn't even include there. Or I didn't bother to include them there. And I will tell you why later on. It's allowed. Your education should be listed in reverse chronological order as well too. I mean, you don't begin with, primary school. No. In fact, if you have a degree, even your O-level school set, you don't include all that one. Because remember, you want to as much as possible. Yes. And then you don't want to beat the not murder. If you were going to include everything in your, it would be a booklet. And if I saw that one, I would just push it aside. I won't even look at it. So you mentioned that. Then on the slides I just prepared, I've just mentioned this, but you also have opportunity to include a range of additional sections that will possibly strengthen your CV and highlight your skill. A few of them includes, key skills. Then if you are writing a functional CV and have some abilities you want to showcase to your prospective employer, you can include that one. But what I did in the CV going around you now is I put that one on the top instead of at the bottom. That one should come under, if you have such things, come under your career objective or your personal statement. Then hobbies sometimes and interests that make you stand out. It's not every hobby you say you you are applying for the job of, let's just say, anyway, you apply for a serious job and then it's your hobby. I like watching TV. Okay. All right. So, so things that you think are because there's some. But please, if you were an activist in school, don't write that one down. Student union activist. I mean, the CVs at the gate, they will turn it back. You don't want to include them. You don't want to include such things that were the ones, and I successfully organized a riot against Arab Moy. It was the riot that has the head of the student union. The strike we did was what made them bring down the cost of fuel. Okay, you may think it's a good thing you did, but this is why it's a rebel. This is why I can't work here, right? So now, what are the things that you should leave out? Because like I said, it's not everything that you should put on your CV. Like the lawyers will say, you have the right to remain silent because anything you say will be used as evidence against you. So your potential employers, they see only what you decide to show them. In as much as it is important to tell the truth, I mean, you must not confess everything. Let me give a note of warning. Please, don't tell lies in your CV. I beg you. Whatever you do, don't tell lies. Because, like they say, the truth is constant. Even if for some reason you are able to wangle your way through that, wangle your way through the interview process, it is when you probably are going to work that the thing will it will come out. So, in as much as I'm saying you must tell the truth all the time, please, nobody is forcing you to say everything. Then some final thoughts. What are the things that can make your CV as rich as the one that you have just seen, going around? First thing I've said there is add value to yourself. Can I tell you of most of the trainings that I went for in the course of my working career, I sent myself. I did not wait for the organization. Yes, true, some of my organizations, they send me on trainings. But most of the valuable ones, because I knew where I was going. I used to tell my team members, those who were working with me then, any knowledge that you have, can any MD take it from you? Nobody can. It's now yours. So don't make it seem as if, how can I go and train myself and come and work for this company? You are working for yourself. You are working for yourself. So please take professional and function specific courses. Apart from the fact that it will enhance your own performance in the job you are doing, it is also a way of increasing your profile, of building your profile, If you look at the CV in front of you, you will see some courses about strategic marketing, brand development, because those were the things that person wanted. That's at the last page now. You some of all those things there. Function specific courses. Then, like they say, postgraduate degree is usually of an added advantage. Just don't stop with your. And that's why I like this man of God. The man is just advancing himself. You know the good thing about that as well too. He can't be intimidated anywhere. Okay. what are you talking about? You have a degree, I have more. You know, so all those things, they boost your confidence. They boost your confidence. You know, there was one job that I really enjoyed. You know, it was a telecom company, Reliance Telecom. It was there. Zoom Mobile. Check it out. The day I sat, no, anyway, no, the HR, what happened was the HR manager met me through a friend. We had a common friend. This friend had lost, I think lost the mother. I can't remember. I came for a burial from abroad, and then, you know, we were talking. He was asking me a few questions, and the HR manager was like, sorry, this is your friend. Where does he work? He said, works in telecom. I didn't know who this person was now. It was like, you know, sir, please, can you send your CV? She gave me a Yahoo CV, didn't email address, didn't give me a promotion. So I didn't even know. I just, you know, sent it. Sharp. They called me, the CEO. You know, by the time I looked through the CV, you know what the man told me? He said, excuse me, sir, you know, we've been having problems in these areas. How can we, that's the interview, how can we sort out these problems? And I'm like, oh wow, you have fallen into my own trap, in my own area of competence, and I fired on. So by the time I was done, the man said, you know what? Well, we create a department for you. They didn't have my area of focus. They said they will create it. I should go and run it the way I want. I should employ the staff that I want. You see, that is what you get. That is what you get. So, but it didn't come overnight. It didn't come overnight. It took a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of work. It took a lot of studying. A lot of studying. Because you have got to make up your mind that you want to be the best in whatever you do. I'm not saying by this that any particular profession is better than any. No. There is no profession you cannot rise to the top in. Absolutely none. Medicine, law, nursing, carpentry. There's this furniture maker in Edo State, Nigeria, Benin City. Man, the man became so good in what he was doing that he became a global phenomenon. And he became so good. I just don't want to mention his name, so I'm not like advertising for him, advertising free of charge for him. So please, yes, I mean, we turn around to advertise. Yes, those are some of the things you need to understand in the business. I'm advertising free of charge for him. I don't want to advertise free of charge for him. He has not paid me for it. If he pays me for it, then I will advertise for him. So please, take it important that you must improve yourself. You must improve yourself. Then I said, learn as much as you can about your chosen career. Be current. Be current. Be current. I told you I was in telecom. I did telecom almost all of my working life. Before GSM came into Nigeria, I had studied a lot about what. While the GSM was coming, when LT was going to come in, before then. You see me on the internet, there are sites I subscribe to, journals I subscribe to, newsletters I subscribe to, just to keep me on the cutting edge. Just to keep me on the cutting edge. I remember one time there was a period where I wasn't working, and an Israeli company was coming to Nigeria to start a telecom company. Somebody called me that this is the person you need to talk to. The person you need to talk to. I sat down with the Israeli, the company didn't eventually take off in Nigeria. But we sat at the Sheraton Hotel then, and then, they were like, man, this guy, you know what I'm talking about. Not because I studied telecom engineering No. I was just a marketing and salesperson who found myself in the telecom industry and made up my mind that I will know everything about telecom. Everything. You know, from two-way radios to internet to pagers to, you know, just name it, to broadband. Then, if, like, of course, I'm sure that most professions, they have professional bodies. So please, try and be a member of it. It may cost money to register, but try and be a member of it. I mean, and there is no industry where you don't have that. Absolutely not. You know, marketing in Nigeria, we have what you call NIMAC, Nigerian Institute of Marketing, you know, NPA, Nigerian Bar Association. Such things belong to it. You may need to pay some dues, but please belong to it. It's for your own good. That is the way you will be known in the industry. In fact, in the ATCON, Association of Telecommunication Companies of Nigeria, I mean, I was an executive member. I was in the executive. I attended meetings. If you Google, in fact, let me put it this way. If you want to know whether you are ready for the top seats, Google your name. Your name. Your own name. Google your own name. If you find anything there, you will know, you know. You know what I'm saying now? You can Google my name. Google my name. All of this I'm saying, you can, you know. But Google your own name first, your own name. So you will know whether you are ready or not. I'm serious. And you know, how do you begin to find your space globally? It is when you find yourself relevant in these things. It's not just to Facebook. No, it's not to Facebook only. I'm not saying look for me in Facebook. No. Look for Google, just write my name there. Or you go on LinkedIn. Of course, you will be common. There will be plenty. Yes. How many people have found themselves? Google. How many people have found themselves? You find your name yourself. Talk to me. Awesome. But see, the number is few. Every person, and there are ways you can, you know, get on. Anyway. Apostle, maybe the next time I come, I will charge these people because I'm not taking this, I'm telling them sorry, seriously. I will charge them money. Exactly, you know. So please, if you have put your name in Google, you didn't see it, ask me after how you will get your name in Google. Yes, now. So I've said sign on to and be active. Not just to sign on, be active on professional social media platforms like LinkedIn. Be active on it. A blog. Comment on what somebody, you know, I mean, go there. Comment on what somebody has, you know, endorse somebody. Sell out your skills out there. You know, up until this morning, I still got got an email that people that are searching me out on LinkedIn. They're looking at my profile. Up until this morning. A few weeks ago, somebody called me and said, please, am I looking for to change jobs? Am I looking for a job? You know? So you see, you can build yourself so to the point where you don't have to be applying for jobs. Jobs will be looking for you. That is where you should strive to get to. That's why you should strive to get to. And when I will be talking about career, when I be talking about success, you know, in your choosing career, maybe tomorrow or day after, when I be talking about it, I will be talking about things you can do to make your own CV as rich as this. Because you see, the reason why a lot of people never get to those top seats is because the word excellence in career is missing from their vocabulary. It's missing. Instead, it is mediocrity. people who will occupy the top seats in their career, they are not habitual latecomers. They are people of integrity. Anyway, we'll be talking about that later on. So, very quickly, whoa, time is gone. Wow, 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 wow. I want to talk quickly. Let's assume that you have done everything you need to do and you have gotten an interview. Now, how do you perform outstandingly in the interview? Let's assume that, you have done the CV right. Let's assume you have an outstanding CV. Now, you've been invited for interview. I'm not sure time will permit me, because part of what I want to do today too was also to go very, very briefly on how to answer, possible questions that you will be confronted with in an interview, and what the right answers are. But what I'll just do now, maybe we'll have some time, maybe not today because of this. And then let me just really say here, Apostle, if you will permit me, in the course of the time I will spend here, for any person who wants assistance with his CV, if you will bring it, I can show you how to do it, if you will permit me to do that. I did something similar in my church in Lagos some years back. If people took it seriously, did their CVs, brought it back for me, within 2 weeks, they were calling them for within 2 weeks. They sent out within 2 weeks. So if a person will, give me the go-ahead, I don't mind sitting with one, people here in the course of this time and then just, showing what to do. Now, you've been invited for an interview. What should you do? What are the things to note? The first thing is you have got to be enthusiastic. You see, enthusiasm is infectious. Yes, you see, that is why I like this man of God. The way he enters, if he enters a place, somebody came. No, somebody came. Somebody came. So, it's not, when people who sit in the top seats, bold people, confident people, they talk as if they are walking, on top of the world. In a strict sense, they are. So when you got enthusiasm, you make a lasting impression. So I don't see enthusiasm now. You go there and become a comedian. I'm going to crack jokes. No. Exactly, that's what I mean. Now, job interviews come in all different forms, but one fundamental goal, I'm on the next slide now, remains the same. You need to convince an interviewer that you are the one, nobody else. There are all manner of interviews, because there are some interviews that are very, very informal, but just have the mindset that your interview begins from the very moment you step into the premises of that organization. There was the case of an interview. As the fellows came, they sat down in a room. They didn't know that part of the person sitting with them was on the part of the interview. So they brought biscuits and all that. Put biscuits there, and so the fellow was watching the ones who would take the sweetest biscuits and leave the tasteless crackers. For it was part of the interview. Yeah, those were just eating and yeah. So by the time they got into the interview room and they saw that same man, they were like, "Oh wow." So just understand that when you come in fact, from the way you talk to the gate man, because most organizations have CCTV cameras. I mean, I've come here for interview and the man says park there. No, I don't want to park. I want to park there. What do, I mean, do you know me? Do you know who I am? They are watching you. So if you just have the mindset that the minute I step into this place, I mean, my interview begins. You know, I heard about the case of where they deliberately left some things, you know, I mean, like you come into a room and the fridge isn't properly locked, and you see it, and the fellow wants to sit down. But, you know, but the guy came and he just locked it properly, saw something, arranged it, and he sat down. He didn't know they were watching him. All right. Irrespective of whatever position, this is very, very key. Whether you are applying for the position of a gate man, senior manager, junior manager, MD, remember that you should conduct yourself as someone selling a valuable experience, a valuable product. I think I said it yesterday. If you don't put value on yourself, no one else will. I mean, conduct yourself as if you are the best thing that has happened in the world. Yes, the solution. So, I mean, you know, that's why I say in presenting your CV, even beginning from there, let them say, if we don't take this person, we stand to lose. Somebody told me, CEO said, look, sir, please forget the interview. Tell us what to do. In an organization, by the time you ask for salary, you know, they will not push you. They say, this person knows what to do. So, I mean, the money is high, but we don't want him to go. Let us struggle how we can negotiate and pay him. You are being interviewed. Take note of this now. You are being interviewed because the company has a specific position to fill, and you have been considered a possible fit for the position. That is why you must go there with confidence. Remember, there are many of you who sent in CV, but they called you because your CV stood out. So they have seen something in you that they want. They have seen that this person can bring value. So go there with that mindset. I don't go to any interview with J3. I don't care who I'm seeing, whether it's the CEO. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because, I mean, the fact that you called me means you know that, yes, I'm good enough to be here. So you conduct yourself that way. With confidence. Confidence. Very, very key. There's some of the tips. I said be research ready. Always research a company. Next slide. Always research a company before an interview. Very, very key. Very, very, very key. You know, researching the company includes finding out exactly what they do. If you can, a brief history of the company, some of the key officers, then the role that you are planning to occupy. What are the specific job functions? If possible, go on LinkedIn and find out the other people who are working there, who have worked there, or who has left the position that you want to occupy. You know, so that when you are talking, you are not talking nebulously. You are not talking, I mean, oh, I can do this, you know. Because when you research the company, you know what the problems of the company are. So you are able to go back and do your own research that, okay, I mean, here, they have a large, you know, subscriber turnover, or, you know, subscriber retention is their problem. Then when you get there that day, you know, and they ask you, for example, I mean, why do you want this job? Remember, you have realized that they are not able to retain subscribers. Why I want this job? Oh, I have found out that coming to this organization XYZ, that I will be able to turn the subscriber base around from this to this, to that to that. When I worked in so and so and so, I was able to do all that one. They're like, the man is talking about a problem that we have. They will adjust themselves. Not, why do you want this job? I want it, yes, sir. I mean, and I just like your company. I like the gates. I like the, I see your advertisement on TV, so I want to work here. No, you are coming there. You are telling that, look, solution based. I have the answer to the question you are asking. So because when you research it, then the next thing I said is, and then yes, let's not forget, your research will generate questions about its potential for growth and your career path. Because usually at every interview, they will ask you, do you have any questions for us? They will ask you, do you have any questions for us? So based on what you have researched, you will tailor your question among those, particularly where you see some gray areas. I mean, sorry, how far is, where is the place? There's a place called Eldoret also. All right. How far is it to this place? 5 hours. All right. And then they ask you why, any questions for us? They are wondering, I wonder why you don't have a presence in Eldoret yet. Because oh yes, because I realized that with the products you offer, the demographics of Eldoret, you will be able to do this, that. Like, this fellow is something else. Not, do you have any questions for us in this interview? I say, can I be when will I be promoted? No, I have heard people ask. I told them I'm starting interview. I've heard people ask that too. Or do you pay Christmas bonus? You've not even come in. It is well in Jesus' name. Are you still here? So then the next thing I've said is, be metric prepared. What does that mean? It means that CV, because there was somebody who I did this kind of training. The person just dubbed my CV, dubbed it, just changed the name and one or two things. We just dubbed it. So when the person got to the interview and they asked questions, the person began to stammer because it wasn't him. I mean, I told the person, follow this format. Sit down with me. Let us, tweak your own into this format. But just finished everything. So when I mean with metric prepared, your CV, because it is you, they ask you, okay, when you worked with Kenya Transport, what did you do there? You won't say, excuse me, bring us CV. Make sure the office of the MD was clean. No. Have everything in your head. That is why, that other place. So, so have it. Those figures, everything they have it at the back of your mind.